This is ridiculous. Why do you want to go and fight for a world title, and you could get beat, you could lose, get beat up,
right,
really bad,
right,
when you could face each other.
I actually think we could actually be friends after this. You know what you're doing.
We need to save this for when the camera's
No, it's rolling.
I think they're rolling right now.
It starts off camera, they're so pally. And then as soon as they start talking to each other, you can see the tension change in the room. I mean, I was like a spectator for most of it, which was fantastic for me. Best bad blood will never die.
Usually if the one that wants to tear up, wants a toe-to-toe, wants a phone booth fight, they'll request that, and Conor's been granted that because they both got to agree to it. Being an 18-foot ring, it means he doesn't want Chris to be able to run and box. He wants him to stand there toe-to-toe.
Honestly, this guy has zero respect for anything, and I hope people can see through it. Some will, some won't. But if you can't see them, I mean, that's a lot of what happened up there was just wrong. So listen, we go to work and we're in to win the fight. It's going to be different this time.
Tony Bellew destroyed Conor Benn for fighting Chris Eubank Jr. at live interview. He flat out humiliated Benn, calling out the madness of even thinking about a rematch. To Bellew, Conor isn't just unprepared, he's chasing a fight he can't win, and the live audience saw him get exposed.
Yeah, I love the kid. He's a good kid with a good heart. But if this fight goes past 6 rounds, it's a hard night. You know what? I should say 8 rounds because Conor's extremely fit.
Oh, proper.
I don't think Chris Eubank Jr. is a very good boxer. I think he's a terrible boxer. I just think he can be copped. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying Conor Benn in the first fight.
Bellew wasn't finished. He ripped into Benn's rematch talk next. Bellew absolutely humiliated Benn here, ripping apart his chances in a rematch. He wasn't impressed by talk of stamina or fitness. He exposed the gap in class, the mental edge, and the veteran know-how that Conor simply doesn't have. Against Eubank Jr., Benn looks hopelessly out of his depth.
Not happening.
We don't know what stamina and what engine he's got in him. Really.
It's not about the stamina and the engine, it's more about the thought process and of gaining that experience of being there and doing it. Okay. It's like when you go into your first 12 rounder, no matter how fit you are.
Johnny Nelson then jumped in with his own strong opinion. Johnny Nelson tried to give Benn some credit, pointing out tiny improvements, but let's be real, it sounded more like wishful thinking. Eubank Jr. has already proven he can handle Benn's best. The idea of a different outcome feels like clutching at straws rather than genuine belief.
I do see improvement there for Conor, and I do think the results will be different the other way around in the next fight. I think it'll go the distance all over again.
Bellew didn't hold back. He warned that the tension is so raw, these two could clash anytime, anywhere. That's how volatile it's become. But even in that chaos, it's obvious who carries himself like a professional. Eubank Jr. Benn just comes across reckless, and it shows.
Real. My greatest worry is these two boys don't bump into each other when no one's around.
Yeah,
because if they do, it's happening. 100%. It's worse than that, mate. It's happening on site, I think. I just hope it doesn't, but we don't need it in our sport. But listen, I think the way they carry themselves, I hope they wouldn't be so stupid as to spoil it by doing it.
And when Eddie Hearn spoke up, even he had concerns about Benn's approach. Even Eddie Hearn admitted Benn fights with his heart, not his head. Swinging wildly won't outclass Eubank Jr. He's too disciplined, too polished. Unless Benn learns to box smart, he'll get walked down again. Right now, it looks like the same mistakes waiting to happen.
You know, Conor Benn's Conor Benn. But I want him just to be a little bit smarter. We can't, like Nigel said, he's just winging away. And the heart's great, the balls are great, but you can outbox this guy as well. You're gonna have to stand and fight because he's gonna try and walk you down and be the bigger man. But just be a little bit smart with it as well.
Conor Benn tried to sound defiant here, but his words reeked of bitterness and insecurity. Claiming there's no respect and painting Eubank Jr. as scared is laughable, considering Benn was the one brought up 2 weight classes and still couldn't impose himself. The narrative of being an easy touch collapses when you remember Eubank Jr. dominated the exchanges and left Benn clinging to excuses. Benn's constant talk of a 2-fight deal feels more like desperation than confidence, like a man begging for another payday rather than chasing legacy. Saying Eubank was almost beaten is nothing more than a reach, a way to convince himself he belongs at this level. But in reality, Eubank looked in control while Benn looked exposed. If there's truly no respect, it's because Ben hasn't earned any in the ring.
I would say there's been a lot of respect anyway. Personally, I don't like him. You know, he thought I was going to be an easy touch, which is why he fought a welterweight. So is there much respect there? Not really, but you know, ultimately, you know, I'm ready to honour my side of the agreement, which was the 2-fight deal, and it's safe to say he's scared. You know, he almost lost. Could have gone either way to a well.
And Eubank Jr. himself didn't hold back when firing shots right back at Ben. This was classic Chris Eubank Jr. sharp, brutal, and straight to the point. He cut through all the hype and laid Ben bare, declaring him neither a champion nor a people's champion. And he's spot on. Ben's public persona is built more on his surname and Eddie Hearn's PR machine than actual accomplishments. Eubank's words hit like punches, calling out the fakery, exposing the narrative, and humiliating Ben for trying to play the hero role. Unlike Ben, Eubank doesn't need smoke and mirrors. His victories speak for themselves. The wolves in sheep's clothing jab wasn't just about Ben. It was a shot at the entire act surrounding him. A reminder that fans see through the facade. If Ben thought he could win the war of words, Eubank just reminded him why he's in a league above.
You know, I'm going to tell you right here and now, you ain't no champ. And you most definitely ain't no people's champ, so get that out of your head. You keep letting Eddie Hearn blow smoke up your ass and you're going to end up being even more of an embarrassment than he is. These men are not men of the people. They are pretending. They're pretending to be the good guys. Wolves in sheep's clothing, if you will. They will do anything they can.
Carl Froch gave it straight. This rivalry isn't about saving boxing, it's about pride and payday. And when you look at it, honestly, Eubank Jr. has everything to gain, while Ben has everything to prove. Froch highlighted what everyone already knows. Conor Benn is chasing redemption, desperate to flip the narrative after being exposed. Eubank, on the other hand, just wants to stamp authority, beat Ben again, and silence the doubters permanently. The money is huge, yes, but so is the message. For Eubank, it's about showing levels. For Ben, it's survival, trying to justify that he belongs. Froch's breakdown stripped the glitz away and revealed the reality. Ben is clinging to this fight because without it, he fades into irrelevance, while Eubank uses it to elevate his name even higher. That's the harsh truth.
For me, it's a fight that probably means a lot less for boxing than what it does for the actual fighters. You know, the fighters, for them, there's a lot at stake. Conor Benn wants to overturn the decision, and Chris Eubank wants to cement the decision and say, I've done it twice. Bottom line is they're making big bunts, aren't they? Big dollar, and they might as well make money. These are prize fighters. We can't begrudge them making money fighting, because that's what they do. That's why they get.
And Duke McKenzie reminded everyone why this clash has captured generations of fans. Duke McKenzie hit the nail on the head. This isn't just another fight, it's an event that stretches across generations. The Ben versus Eubank name carries history, and that's why even kids in gyms are buzzing. But here's the truth. While the intrigue is massive, the balance of power is clear. Eubank Jr. represents discipline, composure, and proven ability. Ben, on the other hand, represents hype, recklessness, and the hope of an upset. McKenzie captured the excitement, but beneath that excitement lies the reality. Only one of these fighters is truly prepared to shoulder the weight of history. The generational interest doesn't erase the fact that Eubank is the more polished, battle-tested man. Fans may tune in for nostalgia and drama, but they'll likely witness Eubank teaching Ben yet another harsh lesson.
Their dads, let's get that right. However, the intrigue that surrounds this fight, I've got young kids in my gym that are going to be tuning into this
Three
fight.
generations are going to watch it, aren't they? That's what's great.
To me, they're so excited about it.
Barry Jones brought the hard truth to the table. This fight is brutal no matter which way it swings. He acknowledged the first clash was grueling, and the rematch will be no different. But here's where it stings for Conor Benn. Even with all the talk, even with the hype, Barry still makes Eubank Jr. the clear favorite. That's the harsh reminder Ben can't escape. He's heading into a fight where the expectation is not can he win, but how much can he survive. Eubank has proven he can go through the fire and still control the tempo, while Ben looks stretched to his limits in the first bout. Barry's analysis is clinical, but it highlights the imbalance. Eubank carries proven stamina, toughness, and ring IQ, while Ben only brings hope and heart. Hope doesn't beat skill at the highest level. Barry didn't sugarcoat it. This rematch won't elevate Ben. It could damage him further.
This fight can only harm him. Because that was a hard fight, the first one. This one will be another hard fight, whoever wins, unless there's a real freak occurrence, not a freak occurrence, unless someone gets caught with the shot really early, then it's going to be a hard night. Which you still have to make Eubank the favourite again, like I did the first time. I mean, so I
Jack Catterall gave Ben a sliver of hope, boldly backing him for the win. He spoke about how entertaining the first fight was and suggested Ben might even have the power to stop Eubank Jr. in the rematch. But let's put that optimism under the microscope. Entertainment doesn't equal control. Just because Ben made it wild doesn't mean he dictated terms. It simply means Eubank allowed chaos and still came out ahead. Catterall's belief that Ben is capable of stopping Eubank sounds more like a fighter's respect than a realistic prediction. Eubank has taken shots from bigger, stronger men and remained standing, while Ben has never shown the same resilience when under pressure. Yes, it's admirable to give the underdog some credit, but belief doesn't change facts. Eubank is hardened, tested, and disciplined. Ben is emotional, reckless, and desperate for validation. Catterall might back him with words, but when the bell rings, Ben's flaws will show again.
You know what, it was an unbelievable fight. I remember watching it, one of the best fights I've seen. I wasn't there live. I'd like to get to this next one, but I think it's not going to be another great fight, and I'm going for Conor Benn for the win.
Do you believe he stopped Eubank this time?
Definitely capable.
This rivalry is more than just another fight. It's pride, legacy, and reputation colliding under the brightest lights. If Chris Eubank Jr. wins again, he stamps his dominance permanently, proving Ben was never on his level and silencing any talk of doubt. It would be a statement of composure, discipline, and true ring IQ. But if Conor Benn shocks the world and pulls off the upset, it flips the script entirely. Suddenly the son chasing redemption becomes the man who toppled his rival against the odds. The stakes couldn't be higher. One fighter wants to cement his name, the other wants to rebuild his identity. This is why fans are glued to it, because history is being written in real time. So the question is simple: are you backing Chris Eubank Jr. to finish the job? Or do you believe Conor Benn can finally prove everyone wrong? Drop your thoughts below.